It is estimated that 1.5 million children and young people will need new or additional support for their mental health over the next 3 to 5 years, and this includes seeking treatments for eating disorders. Has this impacted you? This subject is all about eating disorders, what they are and who they affect the most. Hey, I'm Natalie. We're going to speak about something very real. This is something which affects people all over the world, and it's important to know how to spot the signs in yourself, your family, your friends, and even people that you work with. An eating disorder is classed under a mental health condition where someone might use the control of food to cope with feelings, trauma, and other situations such as changes in life. The most common types of eating disorders can be found on screen. These are anorexia nervosa, which is where you try and control your weight by not eating enough food, exercising too much, or doing both. A second one is bulimia, which is losing control over how much you eat and taking drastic action not to put on weight. And another one is binge eating disorder, or BED, which involves eating large portions of food until you feel uncomfortably full. I think there's this age-old misconception, maybe through films or fashion, that only young women and girls suffer from eating disorders. But anyone can have an eating disorder. Men, women, the older, the younger. However, female teenagers aged 13 to 17 are most affected. In fact, it was found that during the pandemic between 2020 and 2022, there was a 42% increase in eating diagnosis among 13 to 16-year-old girls, said to be due to a lack of control of life during this period. Thankfully, with treatment, people can recover from an eating disorder. So, let's talk about how eating disorders can show up, so that you're able to identify it in yourself and others. Symptoms of eating disorders in yourself can include spending a lot of time and focus worrying about your weight and body shape, avoiding socializing when you think food could be involved, eating very little or making yourself sick or taking laxatives after you eat, and exercising too much or alternatively eating excessively. You may also notice physical signs, including feeling cold, tired or dizzy, or maybe faint. Additionally, even experiencing pains, tingling, or numbness in your legs and arms due to poor circulation. Equally, you can experience problems with your digestion, such as bloating and constipation. There are several symptoms and signs of eating disorders. If you do want to find out more about symptoms of specific eating disorders, you can search on the NHS website for conditions like anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating disorder. Warning signs in others to look out for may include the appearance of dramatic weight loss, frequently going to the bathroom after eating, avoiding eating with others, or potentially bending the truth on how much they've eaten, when they've eaten, or their weight. They could be suddenly exercising a lot or eating a lot of food very fast or very slow. Timing how and when you approach the subject with a friend or family member is key and may not be easy. Now, it's really important not to immediately conclude that you or anyone else has an eating disorder, even if one or more of these symptoms occur. It's important instead to speak to your GP if you're able to, and to be conscious to support others in kind and open ways as they deal with coming to terms with the condition. Also, keeping a diary or notes of what your daily eating habits are can be a good way for you to identify and analyse your eating habits from a wider or long-spanning view. This information could also be helpful to share with your GP if you decide to speak to them. Remember, first and foremost, be kind to yourself. Support is available. Here are some charities on screen which can help you reach out for help or find information on eating disorders. Beats National Phone Helpline operates 365 days a year. You can also find on its site real-life stories from others to better understand eating disorders. The charity Mind also offers a helpline, and its connected charity Young Minds provides information and blogs specifically for young people to help them deal with their eating disorder. The NHS's Be Body Positive site is bursting full of practical and easy learning advice to help you take steps towards recovering from eating disorder. All of these resources are free to access online. Please speak to your local trusted charities and community groups if you need support to access any of these platforms. Don't just Google or rely on social media. You may get a lot of false information. Ask the experts. Thank you for joining me for this all-important quick set. Please watch the second video to this series to hear advice from someone who has experienced an eating disorder and now champions awareness and support for those with eating disorders.